guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And today's video is a collab hosted by Rachel from 7 in All, so make sure you check out her channel. And we're going to talk about homeschool challenges and how we deal with those. Now, when I think of homeschooling and when most people think of homeschooling, they automatically think of large families. And one thing that's real unheard of in the homeschool community is homeschooling an only child. And I see this all the time in the Facebook community and on YouTube. People are always saying, can I use this curriculum with an only child? Can I homeschool an only child? So this video, we're going to talk about the challenge of, can I homeschool an only child? Is it possible? Will it work? Is it okay? We're going to talk about some of those things because it's no more challenging than homeschooling a large family. It's just different, and that's all. It's just different. So let's get into homeschooling an only child. I'm going to make a couple of points, talk about them a little bit, and then you can decide, should I homeschool my only child? So I am going to be looking down because I have taken notes, so I apologize for that up front. So point number one, well, before I get to point number one, my short answer to all this is yes. You can totally homeschool an only child. I do it, and so do a lot of others. It's just not heard of, really. A lot of people don't talk about it. There's not a lot of families on YouTube with just one child. So it's kind of uncommon, but the answer is yes. So point number one reason why you should homeschool an only child is they're going to get undivided attention. It's like having a private tutor at their hands all the time. You are there to assist and help and love and offer the support they need right when they need it. They're not having to wait on another sibling. They're not having to wait on another classmate. You are there to help them. You can offer them all the help they need, all the encouragement they need. You're there. You are like giving them undivided attention. And that is a great way to learn and grow, to have somebody right there supporting you and you not having to wait on it and be filled with busy work while you're waiting, which I see happening when there's more than one child. Other kids are having to be kept busy. We don't have to do that because I can get in there, give him the attention he needs, and we can get done in no time. There's less distraction. You're giving him that attention, and there's nobody else pulling you away or distracting your child. You don't have other kiddos. Now, I will have to say my dog is a little distracting sometimes, but there is less distraction when you just have one child. But here's the other side of that. It can be hard to homeschool just one child because you as the homeschool parent have to fill many roles. Not only are you their mom, you're also the wife, the homemaker who has to do all the cooking and cleaning and things like that. Now my son does help with chores and all, but you're having to wear many hats. And one of those hats, along with being teacher and mom and homemaker and wife and all that, is you also have to be their playmate because if they don't have brothers and sisters, then they've got to have someone to play with. So you're kind of on all the time. So that's kind of the flip side to that. I'm not saying that it's bad by no means. I'm just saying that's something to think about. You are there to give them that undivided attention, but there is a side to it where you might get a little bit overwhelmed and you may need some time to just chill out. And that may be sitting in the bathroom for a few minutes or going on a walk with the dog. Whatever you got to do, just know that, yeah, you're going to have to wear many hats, but you're going to be okay. All right, point number two. This is something I hear a lot of people say when they have an only child. How can I keep them from being lonely, or how can I help them make friends? My biggest advice is you have to be proactive about it. If you're not proactive about it and you're not intentional, it's not going to happen, especially if you're somebody like me who is very introverted and loves to be at home and I don't need a lot of people. My son's right the opposite, by the way. You have to be intentional. So I have to make sure that I am scheduling co-op because he looks forward to that. He loves the interaction and the friends at co-op. So I make sure that we do that. If you're not going to do a co-op, then go to the library, go to the park, get your child out and about where he can meet and see other people. Invite your friends over. Set up those play dates. You have to be proactive about that. It's not just going to happen naturally. You can't just sit in your house and it happen. So if you don't want them to be lonely or not have any friends, you've got to be proactive about it. It's just plain and simple. And the last point I want to make, and I hear a lot of people talk about, is, how much does it cost? What money will I need to homeschool my only child? Is it going to cost a lot of money? And I will say there are some benefits to having an only child, and I noticed this just watching other families and seeing families in my area. First and foremost, curriculum is going to be a lot cheaper for one child as it is for a whole family. And that's nice. That's where it saves me a little bit of money, is I'm only having to buy for one as opposed to more than one child. Not that I'm saying having more children is bad. That's not it at all. That's just one of the benefits. Another thing is, you can decide how much you want to spend. You can spend as little or as much as you want to on your child. You just look at your budget and see what is available to use for homeschooling. You're also able to splurge on things that maybe those larger families can't, like extra classes or more expensive curriculum, or go on more field trips. I know it's hard for larger families to go on a lot of field trips because, my goodness, things cost a lot of money these days. And even for us, like, we went to the aquarium last year and it was just me and my son, and it cost us $80 to get in. And I was thinking, my goodness, if I had more than one child, we would really have to budget for this. So there are some perks, like field trips don't cost as much, and we're able to do a little bit more than if we had a large family. So you can do those things. And you can do more with your money. So if you have money and you have one child, your money's going to go a little further than it would if you had a lot of children. And you do have a lot of freedom. You have a lot of freedom of how to spend the money, and you have more freedom on your time. So they can participate in those activities. You can go and see those activities because you're not being pulled from one child's activity to another. So, the money's really up to you. How much you want to spend is really up to you, but it is feasible and it's pretty cheap to homeschool one child. So this is a challenge that a lot of people face. This is a question, like I said, I see all the time. And just like I said, you can homeschool one child. It is just a different journey. It's no different from homeschooling a large family. It's just different. And I want to encourage you, if you are thinking about it and you have one child, let me know. I have met a couple of people, not many, on YouTube that they're homeschooling one child, and they were so glad to find somebody else that's doing that. So definitely recommend this channel to other families that have just one child, and let them know it is possible. If you have any more questions about homeschooling an only child, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.